If you've ever built anything in machine learning, you know this journey all too well. You kick things off with a fantastic idea, you hack together a script that, hey, it actually works, and then you hit a wall. How in the world do you turn that messy experiment into a professional app that anyone can actually use? Well, in this explainer, we're going to build that exact bridge.
Okay, so this probably looks familiar, right? We've all been there. On the left, you've got the experiment. It's usually one giant messy script. It's the home of that dreaded phrase, well, it works on my machine. It's a total pain to share, and yeah, it's a tangled mess of what we lovingly call script spaghetti. But what we're really aiming for is on the right, the application. The code is organized, anyone, anywhere can reproduce your results, and it's built from the ground up to be collaborative. It's a professional blueprint, not just a one-off scribble.
So how do we get from that messy side to the professional side? Well, the secret isn't some single magic tool. It's really about bringing two powerful pillars together. Think of it like this. You need one for the raw AI horsepower and another for the solid structural foundation of your entire project.
All right, let's dive in and formally introduce these two tools. They're going to be the backbone of your next high-quality machine learning project.
First up, we've got your AI engine, HuggingFace. The best way to think about this is that it gives everyone easy, democratic access to some of the most powerful pre-trained models out there. We're talking about heavy hitters like BERT and GPT. It basically means you don't need a PhD from a top university to start building really incredible things. It just lowers the barrier to entry, big time.
And your second pillar, the project blueprint, is GitHub. Now, this is so much more than just a place to dump your code. It's a platform built for structured, collaborative work. It's what gives you version control, reproducibility, and the kind of long-term maintainability that separates a quick script from a real, lasting application. It's the framework that holds that powerful engine.
But hold on. Before we even think about plugging in that awesome AI engine, we have to build a clean, reliable foundation to put it on. A solid structure is absolutely non-negotiable.
And this takes us right back to that classic nightmare scenario. The absolute key to solving it is to create an environment that's perfectly reproducible. And we do that by creating an isolated little bubble, a clean workspace just for our project. This makes sure that the libraries for this project don't clash with anything else on your computer.
And you know what? It's surprisingly simple to do. It's really just 3 little commands. One command to create this virtual environment, another one to activate it, kind of like flipping a switch, and the third one to install the exact libraries your project needs. This simple 3-step dance is the key. It means anyone who gets your project can perfectly replicate your setup in just a few seconds.
Now, that last step is all thanks to this little file, requirements.txt. You should think of it as the literal recipe for your project's kitchen. You create it with one command, pip freeze, and it lists out every single library and its specific version. This is what guarantees your setup is identical everywhere, on your machine, your friend's machine, or on a server in the cloud.
Okay, our foundation is solid. Our workspace is clean. Now it's time for the fun part, adding the AI magic. Let's see just how ridiculously easy HuggingFace makes it to plug in these super smart models.
All this simplicity comes from a really clever idea called the pipeline. It intelligently bundles together 3 key components, which makes even complex tasks feel almost trivial.
And here's what that magic looks like in the real world. That pipeline handles everything for you. The pre-processing, running the model, the post-processing, all hidden behind one simple function. You want to do sentiment analysis? It's literally one line of code. Generate some text? One line. This is the game changer. The pipeline handles all the complicated stuff, so you can just focus on building cool things. It's a massive, massive boost to your productivity.
So, we have the magic, right? But magic needs a proper stage. A powerful model is only as good as the project it lives in. So let's build that professional blueprint. The philosophy that's going to guide us here is a golden rule in software engineering, the single responsibility principle. All it really means is that every file in your project should have one job and only one job. Sticking to this is what stops your code from turning into that tangled mess where changing one thing accidentally breaks 5 other things.
So what does that look like in practice? Well, here's a fantastic standard layout for an ML project. You can see right away how everything has its own dedicated place. Main.py is just the front door. All your settings, they're tucked away neatly in config.py. The actual model code is isolated in its own folder. This structure makes your project scalable, intuitive, and way easier to debug.
And why do we care so much about this? Why does this matter? Because this structure is an investment that pays off big time. It's what keeps you from writing script spaghetti. It makes your code 1,000 times easier to test, and when a new person joins your team, they can get up to speed almost instantly. This is how you stop accumulating technical debt. This is how you turn a little experiment into a real maintainable application.
So let's put it all together. When we combine these pillars, the clean environment, the powerful AI engine, and that professional blueprint, we finally complete that journey from a chaotic script to a solid, shareable application.
So, what are the big takeaways here? It really just boils down to these 4 things. You use Hugging Face for raw power. You use GitHub for solid structure. You use virtual environments for a pure, clean, and reproducible setup, and you adopt a clear file structure to keep yourself sane in the long run. Each piece just builds perfectly on top of the last.
And the payoff for doing things this way? It's huge. The impact is crystal clear. The amount of time you spend hunting down bugs just plummets. The speed at which you can collaborate with others skyrockets, and your project's ability to grow and scale just goes through the roof. This isn't about being neat for the sake of it. It's about being effective.
And just like that, you now have the whole mental model. You've got the framework you need to consciously step away from those messy, one-off experiments and start building high-quality, professional, and shareable ML applications that are built to last.
So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. Your machine learning model is incredibly powerful, no doubt, but is the project that holds it professional? Now you have the blueprint to make sure the answer is always yes.